Well, hello racing fans, and welcome to our Gallop TV preview show. We are previewing Wednesday the 19th of November. Where are we racing? Well, we're on the winter course at Hollywoodbets Kenilworth. And what's on the go? Well, it looks like a nice busy afternoon. It will all begin late at 13:05, and we should close things off at 17:15. And at this time of the year, we know that it's beautiful weather down in the Western Cape as well. Late sunsets is what I love when it comes to the Western Cape this time of the year. Brandon Beatty standing waiting on the line, and I trust that you, the valued racing fan, as well. And race number one as we bring up the field, and we'll have a look at some betting here in the first race at the time of recording, which is always, as you know, keep an eye on declaration, scratching, etc. Always a day earlier. So race number one as we bring up the field. Let's have a look at some betting here, and we'll give you some real-time betting at the time of recording before we have a chat to Brandon. Okay, Brandon, race number one. And number two is trading at 5-2. Horse number 5 at 12-1. Then we got number 9, which is Meet the King. That is at 7-2. There is some money about here for horse number 12. We should give it Laddie. Lucinda Woodruff's runner with Richard Fourie up for Hollywood Racing. That was priced up at 7-1, and the first timer has been snapped up. 5-1, 7-2, now 33-10. Number 13, Gallop King for James Crawford and Lune Kotwa. That's trading at 8-1. It's double figures the balance. So we mentioned that we got 8 races on the bounce. So race number one does start off the bipod. And a very good day to you, Brandon. And I trust that this card is going to go well for us.
Thank you very much, Dees. Thanks for the intro. We certainly hope that we can try and build and claw back after what was a tough meeting at Hollywoodbets Kenilworth on Saturday. I think many punters were angling around that horse Gallic Victor, who only ran a fair race. He moved up to a point and then became very one-pace late in the day. So we're not going to write him off just yet. I still believe he'll be a better horse when he gets to the summer course at Hollywoodbets Kenilworth. You don't want to be hearing that now if you had the absolute baby on over the weekend. But we saw horses like Gimme Rules. I thought a good win from him. Maybe on the naked eye, the number of punters I see, they've gone over various social media platforms and said that he'll need to improve now to win the Guineas. I completely disagree, Dees. I still believe he's the horse they need to beat in the Guineas. It was a good win. Initially, when I called the race, I thought they went a bit quicker than what they did when I watched the replay. They actually crawled along, Dees. There was only about 5 lengths in it. San Pedro only set a fair gallop, and he picked them off smartly. It was a cheeky win in the end. He had lots more up his sleeve. He only got going when the line arrived, and I have no doubt Dean and his team will have him firing on all cylinders come that big grade 1 in December. So Gimme Rules for me, impressive over the weekend, and there were a few others that I'll be watching closely. But thank you, Dees. Let's get going into this card. The first race goes off at 1:05. You've touched on the first race. Did you say there's been money already for the first timer, Dees? Did I hear you correctly?
Yes, give it Laddie 7-1 into 33-10.
All right, there has been from Saturday. I've only heard about one horse. There's been a number of people that have come up to me and told me about the first timer trained by Lucinda Woodruff. We'll get the lowdown on race day and get an official comment from Lucinda herself. Richard Fourie has been booked to ride. I'm just having a look. The weights have gone in already. He's at 508 on the scale. So he's quite a big colt, this number 12, Give It Laldi. Impeccably well bred. He's been shortened up from 7-1 into about 3-1 already. And the word on the ground is that he has got ability. So we need to watch this first timer closely. Dees, I want to chat about number 2, Pretty United. He comes back from a rest, 67 days off the track. Andrew Fortune gets the ride for Ricky Maingard. If you go back and watch his replay at Hollywoodbets Durbanville last time, he was eating up the ground late. I know he was handy, but they went past him, and it looked for one moment in time that he was going to run 3rd or 4th, like a clear 3rd or 4th, and then all of a sudden he started coming back, and he was beaten in a driving finish. I know he ended up running 4th, but there was no more than a half a length added at the line. And I'm going to go as far as saying, had the race been another 50 meters, he probably runs 2nd in that race. So 2 Pretty United we need to watch closely. We know that Andrew Fortune is hungry at the moment, and we know that Ricky Maingard has certainly got his yards going beautifully. beautifully at the moment. So 2 Pretty United, good winning chances, your 5-2 favourites. And then further down the page, I love the fact that this horse Meet the King is coming back in trip. Gavin Larena gets the ride for Justin Snaith. He moved up a winner last time, and then he lies down late to run fourth over 1,400 metres at Hollywoodbets Durbanville. They're going to drop him in trip come Wednesday afternoon. You'll be given a small chance. You'll be just off them early, and he should be able to finish his race or better. So 9 Meet the King also must have some sort of a chance. But a lot hinges on this first timer, Dees. If he's as good as they're talking in Cape Town, he will be hard to beat in the first.
Give it loudly, number 12, 7-1 into 33-10. Some good information from Brandon with regards to talk on the ground, and there's plenty for number 12. So let's see if there's a follow-through from 33-10. But of the race runners, he's singled out number 2, Pretty United. Race number 2 kicks off the place accumulator, Brandon. It is a maiden plate over 1,400 meters. And we bring up the field, have a look at some betting. Number 1, Man of Consequence at 8-1. Then we got number 3, Perfect Impact at 2-1. A 7-1 shot is Clinton Binder's runner, number 4, Sky Pilot, who put in a very encouraging debut at Hollywoodbets Kenilworth over 1,200 meters. I like the fact that the horse was finishing off well. So 1,400 from a good draw. That horse could be generously priced up at 7-1. Number 5, Trip to Camelot at 4-1. 7, Charlie Bucket at 4-1. And then it's double figures, the balance. What are we doing in leg 1 of the PA?
So, Dee's interesting race. Initially, I made number 3, Perfect Impact, a tough horse to beat. So it was a great run when they stepped him up in trip last time when he ran second at Hollywoodbets Durbanville. Behind that was Miami Summer, who's held in high regard. We know JP thinks quite a bit of him, JP van der Merwe, as does Justin Snaith. This horse made him work. He went to the front. At one point, it looked like he might be hard to peg back, and then Miami Summer turned on the engines to come and fetch him late. Back over 1,400 a game, this time at Hollywoodbets Kenilworth. Good draw. I have no doubt they won't change anything. They'll take him handy, and he could be very hard to beat. So 3, Perfect Impact. He's got a good winning chance. Dees, you know I'm a man of replays. Please, if punters can, they need to go and watch this horse Sky Pilot on debut. Sean Veal for Clinton Binder. He ran 6. He was beaten 3 and a bit lengths by Never 7. At one point in the race, Dees, he showed speed. He came out really well. Midway through the lane, he was second last. Go and have a look at how he was finishing. He was eating up the ground into the closing stages. And I went back to my black book. I said, when he steps up over some ground, he could be a horse that we watch closely next time out. So I love the fact that he's now over 1,400 meters. He's got the draw in his favor. The only thing that can beat him, in my opinion, is the greenness. So 7-1, a fair price about number 4, Sky Pilot, in hope that this run hasn't come too soon for him. He should go very close here. We know they paid a lot of money for number 5, Trip to Camelot. I wasn't blown away with his debut run. I know he found the support in the market, but he was very one-paced. I know he needs a lot further, so you will see quite a bit of improvement from number 5, Trip to Camelot. He's been off the track for 73 days. And then even further down the page, another horse that caught my eye first time out. The draw's going to be tough for him. But number 8, What Will Be, Will Be. Andrew Fortune gets the ride for Justin Snaith. He was completely detached. He must have been 4 lengths behind the second last horse. There must have been 15 lengths in it, Dees. And when I looked up again, when they swung for home, he had made up stacks of ground. He ran a great race on debut. Andrew will give him a chance from a tricky draw, and he'll be running on strongly. So it's an interesting race. Perfect Impact will probably go to the front. That's the horse they're going to have to run down. But just for punters out there, please go and watch the replays of number 4, Sky Pilot, and number 8, What Will Be, Will Be.
I just want to add on with number 4, Sky Pilot. I don't know what point in the race the horse cast a shoe, but I clearly see that Clinton Binder, who we know, from all the trainers around the country, he's about the one that stands out when it comes to shoes, and he's taken off the Alamites here. Maybe that could be a reason at pointing us in the direction that this horse may be having issues with the Alamites, and you know what, just remove them and let's see how he goes.
Yeah, and listen, Dees, I did mention when we're doing the preview now with regards to Sky Pilot, in hope that the run hasn't come too soon. Don't read too much into that. He debuted on the 8th of November. What is it? Almost 10 days later, 11 days later, he runs the game. We did see Clint Binder do this with that horse Mzingeli Wenyati about a week and a half ago. He backed him up quite soon, and he got out the maidens convincingly. So Sky Pilot, if he's made the improvement back at home and he's not too green around the bend for the first time, 7-1 could be some decent value.
Okay, let's get into leg one of the pick six then, Brandon, which is race number 3, and that is at 14:15. 1600 meters, maiden plate, fillies and mares. The betting is like so. Lilting Song, Glenn Cotson's runner, blinkers on 5-1. Miss Sakura at 17-10. Then we got number 5, Her World, at 8-1. I had a nice long chat to Serena Moodley after the run of number 6, Rose Watt, Andre Nell and Platinum Racing, and he mentioned to me that she's a very nice filly and all she's looking for is extra ground, and they found a nice race for her over 1600 meters. So he was of the opinion the further the better, and she now goes over a distance that I think is going to suit her much better than 1400 meters, but maybe even further in time for number 6, Rose Watt. Pick 6, what are we doing?
So, Dees, I actually wanted to chat to you about number 6, Rosewood. Serena Moodley gets the ride for Andre now. When she went down to the start last time, I said she can never get beat. She is beautiful, Dees. On the naked eye, she's a lovely looking filly, this. You can see on pedigree and the way she looks, the further she goes, the better she'll be. She was put in a great position last time by Serena. She was just off the speed early, but they kind of out-sprinted her when she only got going when the line was arriving. So I love the fact that she's over 1600 meters now. Even when she goes 2000 and further, I think we'll see the best of number 6, Rosewood. But I like her. She's my solid winning chance when it comes to this particular race. If she's made any improvement, which I'm sure she has, we know that Andre Nell and the team slowly starting to warm up into their summer season. This horse, number 6, would go very close to winning. She's got a neat draw. Again, I don't think anything will change. She'll be just off them early, and she'll be picking them off one by one. And Serena obviously would have got a good feel of her last time out, so you'll know what to do going into Wednesday afternoon. 3, Miss Sakura, Dees, you can maybe tell me a bit more. She debuted at Hollywoodbets Greyville. It was a great run. We know that the winner of that race, Dark Matters, held in high regard, and she also only got going when the line was arriving, so the step up in triple help her.
Yeah, and she is a well-bred filly. You can see that Kaya had to dig deep, Brandon, a 3.6 million rand purchase. And the fact that she was punted to odds on first up tells a story. Fitness-wise, I'm on the fence. Maybe the guys that are working on course can get hold of a representative, or maybe Dean himself with regards to fitness. I don't know which interviews have been done for Perfectly Placed if he's on there, because that will be my only, reservation, because she is, going over 1600 meters and been off since May. So fitness will only be my slight concern. I think if she's in, possibly comes up for air, then everything does point to a number 6, Rosewood.
Spot on. That's exactly how I read it. I'm just worried about fitness of Miss Sakura. 179 days off the track. We'll have to see. We'll have to go and chat to Dean himself and see where this filly is in terms of preparation, and that'll help the punters on race day. So, Dees, we've spoken about number 6, Rosewood. We've given number 3, Miss Sakura, a mention. Just one other filly I do want to give a big shout-out to, because she's also improving, and she was a little bit unlucky last time not to go closer, was number 4, Woman in Gold. Richard Faree gets the ride for Glenn Cotson. They stretched out. I mean, if you can, go and watch that replay behind Lady Veritas. She was drawn badly. She had to take her medicine. She was a long way back. And when she came for her, there was a horse just in front of her that looked like she was getting tired. And Serena had to ease off the heels and get her back into that big stride. And she was hitting the line full of running. So, Woman in Gold from a neat draw, stepping up another 100 meters. There's no doubt that's going to help her. She's a fair price. I think she'll be in the first 4 as well. But I'm going with number 6, Rosewood, Dees.
Okay, nice price about Richard Faree's mount. You don't often get Richard riding 12-1 shots, and that could be a find from Brandon. Number 4, Women in Gold. Let's go on to race number 4. It's a maiden plate, 1600 meters a trip. Number 1, Ocean Sky, is at 5-1. Then we got number 2, Quiet Place, at 6-1. Number 4, Chance Encounter. If you've gone for this horse in the past, well, he's hurt you. He's hurt you badly. 3-1 this time round, and they've taken the blinkers off. Number 5, Tunguska at 7-1. 18-10 about Justin Snaith's runner here in motion. Gavin Larena is in town. 9 Fort Liam is at 7-1. It's double figures, the balance. I think when you have a look at the way the fixed odds betting market has priced this race up, whether you agree with it or not, I often say it's just a guide. You're going to have to be the judge on where the value lies if you don't like a horse at the top of the boards. And sometimes you like a horse at the top of the boards, but you expected, a bit better. Is 18-10 a fair price about number 6 in motion, or is the horse beatable?
Too short for me, Dees. My advice, if punters do want to back this in motion, I'm not saying he can't win. He's definitely got a winning chance. But I think you'll get a better price closer to race time. I think many punters will be looking at that last run where he ran second to Beware. We know that Beware came out to win a smart race after winning on the 8th of October, and he's held in high regard by both Richard Fourie and Lucinda Woodruff. And in that same race, there was a horse called Ignite the Fire that came out to win at Hollywoodbets Durbanville. So the form lines are quite strong of his last run. He's honest. He'll be there. He'll be whacking away. He'll probably go handy, I'd imagine. I don't think you'll find him in front. They'll probably want to give him a small chance just so that he can see out the trip of 1,600 meters. But I won't be taking 18-10. I think there is value elsewhere. Number 2, Quiet Place. I have to give him a mention. It was a great run first time out when he ran 5th. He was trying all the way to the line. I thought he travelled sweetly in his race. He was only beaten 2 and a bit lengths by Diogenes. It was a great run from him. He can only improve. And then further down the page, you mentioned number 4, Chance Encounter. No doubt punters have been burnt a number of times by this 3-year-old gelding. Serena Mutley gets the ride for Andre now. Dees, I'm going to give him another chance. I'm not going to write him off just yet. He moved up like a winner last time. He had to do a little bit of work early. You can't blame anybody. He was drawn awkwardly. He was drawn 10 of 15. They opted to try and get him up handy. You had to. On that occasion, the track was running quite fast. And he ran a great race. He was beaten a length and a bit by Diogenes. In fact, at one stage, I thought he had the race in the bag. The blinkers come off. Again, he gets a neat draw. 1,600 meters, no problem. I'm prepared to give him another chance, number 4, Chance Encounter. I think you said 3-1, 33-10. I'm happy with that, Dees.
Okay, that is going to be Brandon's assessment of race number 4. Let's move along to race number 5. It's a maiden plate over 1,950 meters. Now, in this race, number 7, Time Honored, is at 3-1. Number 9, Green Choice, is at 18-10. And 10, Cassandra, is at 2-1. Now, Braden often speaks about his black book that he refers to when jotting down horses to follow. And similarly to him, I've got a Nag Me, which comes up with horses that I follow. Now, on the advice of Brandon, I remember him chatting about this horse called World First not too long ago in one of our preview shows. I don't know if it was the second start or last time out, but since then, I've added this horse to my Nag Me's, and I'm sure Brandon hasn't, taken this out of his black book. The horse opened up at 12-1, Brandon, is at 10-1 now. Now, last time out, I can clearly remember, you mentioning the horse, and I watched the horse race. This 1,950 meters, I have no doubt that if you follow this horse in the past, surely this must be your play on the day.
I couldn't believe 12-1 when I opened up the betting earlier on when they priced up initially for this meeting at Hollywoodbets Kenilworth. I mean, all punters need to do is go back and watch his replay, Dees. He's a lovely big horse. He covers a lot of ground. I see he's at 491 on the scale, so he's tightened up a little bit. He was drawn in the car park at Hollywoodbets Durbanville on the 18th of October. He had to take his medicine. He was dropped right out. And they stretched out, like I said, there must have been 15, 16, maybe even more lengths in it from top to tail on that occasion. And he came from stone last. He had to weave a passage. He was only beaten 5 and a bit lengths. But if you go and watch the race, you'll see he actually hit the line with quite a bit more running up his sleeve. So now that he steps up in trip, he goes the 1950. He gets the draw of 3. Right field, it's not a strong field, Dees. And I say that with all the respect in the world to the other trainers, owners that have got horses in this particular race. But 12-1. That's crazy value. From a good draw, you can see him popping out, maybe getting 1 or 2 to lead him, and he'll love every inch of this 1950. So I'm happy to take my chances. I think there's lots of value here.
This horse, number 7, Time Honored. You know, you mentioned the way World first finished last time out, from last to finishing midfield. This horse, Time Honored, was 11 lengths back at the 400 over 1800 when stretched last time out for the first time in his career. And he made up 10 lengths, 400 to finish. He was really finishing off well, Time Honored.
He was, these. I think 3 to 1, 4 to 1 is also a fair price when I looked at this. Look, put it this way, I'm not backing Green Choice. I do have my reservations about Green Choice and going the 1950, but we'll find out on Wednesday afternoon. But I'm not backing Green Choice in this race, and therefore I've had to look for some value. One of them being World First, the other one you touched on, Time Honored. I mean, Konnichiwa ran just in front of him. That came out to win a real scintillating win from Konnichiwa. Last time out, Grant van Niekerk had him in a good position. The grey, I refused to back him on that occasion. You know, these horses, when they burn you a number of times, you say, thank you very much. And Konnichiwa met the strongest field he's ever met in terms of the maiden ranks, and he came out to blow them away by 2 or 3 lengths. And just behind him was a horse called Time Honored. Dees, if you look at his form, not too bad. There's nothing wrong with his form. Look at his run to Future Free. Great run on the 13th of August. He then ran 6, beaten 8 lengths by Yamazaki. Good run from a wide draw when beaten 4 lengths by Delta Pride. And then last time low flying behind Joshua. He also finds himself in a good field. He won't be as far back this time, and I can see him winning. So 7 Time Honored, 4 to 1. I wouldn't put punters off if you want to back him as well.
Okay, lots of information from Brandon in race number 5, but he has picked out number 3, World First. And I must agree with him. Race number 6, D Stakes, 1800 meters. Number 1, the Night Ferry, is at 9 to 2. We have a situation. Paddy Crayer, Andrew Fortune, that has shortened 5 to 2 into 2 to 1. 4, Eric Liddell at 4 to 1. 5, Chasing Goal, 7 to 1. Number 6 is trading at 8 to 1. 7, the same, 8 to 1. And then horse number 8 at 11 to 2. 8 horses go to post. What are we doing?
These are out number 3. We have a situation. Somewhere when I looked at the card, we've got to go quite thin. Otherwise, we're going to spend way too much in these exotics. She's honest, this 5-year-old mare. She had hard luck stories last time out when she was beaten in a driving finish. She ran 3rd under a length by Princess of Bayou on the 27th of September. We know just in front of her was a horse called Beneath the Clouds. Further down the page, you had that horse Strawberry Thief, who ran almost stone motherless on the 27th of September, that came out to win from that form line. Andrew Fortune gets a tune out of this 5-year-old mare. You've got to ride her cold. She's got a short run in. She needs to latch onto something to put her through up the lane. And she's got a wonderful turn of foot. When she gives it to you, it's really a nice turn of foot from number 3. We have a situation. And Andrew Fortune seems to get a good tune out of her. So I'm going to take my chances. I think she's in the region of 22 to 10 from a good draw. Nothing wrong with the trip. It's not a strong field. I think she'll win, Dees. She's been so consistent. The owners have had such a good time with this 5-year-old mare, and now they've opted to put Andrew Fortune back on from a good draw. So I'm going to go with her.
Okay, you heard it from Brandon. He likes We Have a Situation, horse number 3 in race number 6. Well, the 7th race is a progress plate. It's 1400 meters, and usually the best weighted column is a guide. Horse number 3, Little Susie, tops the best weighted column at a 118. Most interesting runner in the race, and maybe Brandon has some word, or he's heard something with number 9, His Majesty, at a 115, and then it is joint at a 101, numbers 6 and 4. But let's have a look at some betting here. Number 2, Hat's Pride, that is trading in single figures at 7 to 1. The favorite in the race is number 3, Little Susie. She's at 17 to 10. Then we got number 8, Power and the Glory, at 4 to 1. And we got a Northern Hemisphere bred entire called His Majesty, who hasn't been seen since October 2024 when racing internationally, and makes his South African debut. They've engaged the services of Richard Fourie. We are in the dark with this horse, number 9, His Majesty. Just going to the front of the computer form to see if there's any comment here about His Majesty. Nothing that I have here, Brandon, for His Majesty. Can you tell us anything?
I speak under correction, Dees, and I don't want to obviously mix my words and create havoc, but I'm sure this horse galloped at Hollywoodbets Kenilworth not too long ago, number 9, His Majesty. Mr. Marshall, the most open man you'll find, so I'm very happy to go and chat to him and see where he is in terms of preparation. That's not going to help the viewers now that are listening to this podcast right now, but my only advice is just listen to the presenters on course. These, you know, we're out there, we try and get the lowdown. We play open cards with everybody. So what I'll do is I'll go up to Mr. Marshall, see where this horse is in terms of preparation, either myself or Vicky and MJ. Richard Faree's been booked to ride, so I think that itself speaks volumes. If it was him that galloped at Hollywoodbets Kenilworth not too long ago, it was a nice, impressive gallop. You know that these horses that have come from overseas, one of them was the Equator, who found all the support now to win the Betway Summer Cup. They're beautiful. They really do cover a lot of ground. They got those big actions about them. So he weighed in. Do you take a guess what he weighed in on the scale, this horse, number 9, His Majesty?
I'd say 500 plus.
573.
Oh.
So he's a big boy. There's no doubt he's a big boy, number 9, His Majesty. Almost 600 kilograms on the scale. We'll have to find out and see where they are. That's key with number 9, His Majesty, because we know that form, that European form, can be quite strong here in South Africa. We've seen it with the Equator already. So I'll get the lowdown. That's my promise to the punters out there. But for now, I'm going to chat about the others. Number 3, Little Susie. She's slung in terms of weight. So 113. She's got the draw. The only thing I can say is she didn't earn this rating over 1,400 meters. Her last 2 wins go 2,000 meters. The Wood Lavington, the 24th of May. She beat My Soulmate in impressive fashion. She then followed that up on the 27th of July, and she ran a great second to Rainbow Lorikeet. That was in the gold bracelet, of course, at Hollywoodbets Greyville. So her form is over 2,000 meters. I'm not sure, again, in terms of preparations, where they are with this filly, but in terms of weight, I can tell you she's absolutely slung in. And maybe her class will pull her through from a good draw, Dees, I'm not sure. But 3, Little Susie, definitely the horse that will be right there on top of them. And then 8, Power and the Glory. I want to give him a big shout-out because he's a beautiful-looking horse. Gavin Arena got a good tune out of him last time for Justin Snaith. He was just off them over a trip that's way too short for him, and he got into a good fight with that horse, Black Eagle. Now, I've never made a secret, Dees, you know that. I've always thought the world of this horse, Power and the Glory. I think he's way above average. I do believe he's better than his rating of 96. Maybe now that he's got that confidence booster, we could see the best of him stepping up in trip again, and it's good to see that Gavin Arena got a good tune out of him last time. So 8, Power and the Glory at about 4 to 1. Please respect his chances, but a lot depends on 9, His Majesty, and a lot depends on number 3, Little Susie, because Little Susie is well in at the weights, Dees.
Okay, you heard it from Brandon, and just to add on Mr. Ackerman, who owns number 9, His Majesty, of course, Brandon did touch on it. He owns the Equator with Advocate Riley, and the Equator is the top one for this year's Summer Cup. And the Equator by Galileo, bred by Coolmore, and this horse by Nowhere Never, bred by New Steed. Nice to have this type of blood in the country. Let's move along to race number 8 now, Brandon, where we close things off. It's a C Stakes over 1,400 meters for fillies and mares. Number 1 at 7 to 1. 2 is at 6 to 1. Number 4 at 7 to 2. There is money, and some good money here for Lucinda Woodruff's runner. Well, Lucinda's horse in race number 1 has been backed a first timer, and they've gone for this horse 6 to 1 into 9 to 2. Now that's horse number 6. Then we go on to number 9, Catch a Penny at 7 to 1, and a 4 to 1 shot in number 12, Queen Regent. So that's the betting race number 8. I'm going to hand it over to you, Brandon, to close things off with our race by race preview before we get to your suggested bets.
So, Dees, it has been a tough card up until now, and I think the last race is probably the most difficult race of the entire program. If I came to the last, Dees, And either way, if I'm up a few rand or I'm in trouble, I'm going to go and take my chances on number 6, Saatchi 1. You did mention that there's already been some support for this 3-year-old filly. Chad Little gets the ride for Lucinda Woodruff. She won a super race at Hollywoodbets Durbanville first time out. She was still very green. She got to that inside fence and she knuckled down to go and fetch Hazel Green, and she won with quite a bit up her sleeve on that occasion on the 18th of October. So I'm going to go with her, Dees. I'm just looking at those form lines. I mean, down the page at Iona Castle, who came out to run third from that run. Kubu came out to run third from that run. So nothing's really jumped off the page in terms of form line, but sometimes we need to use the naked eye, and for me she was super impressive. I have no doubt she's going to improve now that she steps up in trip. Chad Little rides a lot of work back at Milnerton. You did mention, or he mentioned in his post-race interview last time, that he does lots of work on this filly, and she gave him a good feel. So 6 Saatchi 1, in hope that she can remain unbeaten. That's where we're going to go to the lucky last, but it doesn't stop there, Deej. You can make a case for so many horses. I mean, 1 Lillian Don from a good draw. Nicola Ewan will jump this one out. She'll be on speed. Tulip Field, still an unknown filly. She's still improving. She's been off the track for 67 days. And then a horse that really caught my eye last time. A number of punters will probably say, I'm not going with her because she can be a thief. I don't want to use that term, but that's just the way it is. Number 9, Catch a Penny. Andrew Fortune, I think, is going to suit this filly down to the ground. Interesting that Ben Cotson's booked the services of Andrew because she needs a ride where you can tuck her in, sit on her as long as possible, get her to latch onto something up the lane, and then produce her very late in the day with number 9, Catch a Penny. So, Dees, please watch her closely. I know she's got an awkward draw, but Andrew's going to suit this filly down to the ground. So at about 8-1, she must go into trifectas, swingers, and quartets. But tough race. Like I said, if I come to the lucky last and I'm in trouble, or I've got a few rand in the bag, I'm going to go and back number 6, Saatchi 1.
Okay, let's get into your suggested bet then, Brandon, which will come up on screen now, and over to you.
Thank you so much, Dees. I'm going to run through my play. The team will pop that up on screen for everybody to have a look at. Place accumulator. I'm going to try and give the PA again a go, because we were very close over the weekend. There were 1 or 2, like I said. Gallic Victor unfortunately let the team down. So let's try again. 13:38, race number 2. We're going 3 and 4 in the first leg. Perfect Impact and number 4, Sky Pilot. The next leg of the place accumulator, we're going 3 and 6. Miss Secura and number 6, Rosewood. We'll follow that up. We'll go 4 and 6 in the next leg, being race number 4, so 4 Chance Encounter and number 6, In Motion. Then we're going to go 3 and 7. 3, World First at about 10-1. We'll include number 7, Time Honored. Then we'll banker number 3 in race number 6. That is We Have a Situation. Andrew Fortune gets the ride for Paddy Crayer. Then we'll follow that up in the penultimate race, race 7. We're going 3 and 8. 3 Little Susie, as well as number 8, Power and the Glory. And the last leg, the 8th race, which goes off at 5:15, we're going 1, 6 and 9. 1 Lillian Don. We'll include number 6, Saatchi 1, and number 9, Catch a Penny. My best bet, race 6, number 3, We Have a Situation, now trading at 22-10. And my value bet, race 5, number 3, World First, he's in the region of 10-1.
Brandon, as always, thanks for your effort, thanks for your time, and hopefully things work out on this Wednesday. Appreciated, my brother.
Always a pleasure, Dees. Thanks to the viewers out there for watching this podcast. I know it's been a lengthy one, but my only advice is, where I'm asked to go and watch replays, go and watch those replays, and from there the punters can make their mind up as to what they want to do on this race card. It's going to be a good card. There's money to be made, and from our side, thanks to you and your team, and of course to the valued punters out there, Dees.
Well, Brandon Bailey for Gallop TV, myself, Dees Diner, and to you, the valued racing fan. Hopefully it turns out to be a good day for you if you are racing on this Wednesday at Hollywoodbets Kenilworth. Until we meet again, you take care. Salaniga Ashley.